everyone, today I'm here to show you how to make these cute little crochet hanging baskets. This is actually the one that we make in the video, and I just really like them. Obviously I'm using little S hooks to hold them off this towel bar, but you can use you know, hanging off a regular hook, whatever you like to do. These are really great. They're a really great size, and if you look, they're kind of slightly diamond shape, not exactly, but you can kind of see from the opening there. We start out with a single base and then we work our way up doing increases on the front and not on the back, so that way all of your items sort of naturally, it wants to lean forward anyway, this way that the back kind of, that one's got a thing sticking out of it, but the back kind of wants to lay nice and flat. This is actually the third of a set of hanging baskets that I've made. The written pattern, if you want that, is available on my website for just this one. For the whole set, though, it is on Ravelry, and there's a small charge for that because it is a PDF. And but if you want the pattern for free, you can certainly go to my website. If you want all three of them, head on over to Ravelry. There will be links. But let's go ahead and get started with this. To make this hanging basket, you're going to need the following. You're going to need your hook. This is a J hook or 6mm hook. You can see that it is, that's what it looks like there. You'll need a tapestry needle, a pair of scissors. Optional is a tape measure because I will sometimes work even for this number of stitches or rows, and it's just in case you want to make it different, you know. And then your yarn. I'm using Bernat Maker Home Dec or Home Decor yarn in the aqua colorway. It's listed as a 5 bulky, and it does call for an 8mm or an L hook, a US L hook. Obviously we're using something smaller than that, but it is 72% cotton, 28% nylon. Just keep those details in mind in case you want to substitute. This is kind of that t-shirt yarn. It feels very soft. It feels like a t-shirt. And it's basically just a knit tube of, if you know how to knit, it looks kind of like an I-cord, but it is slightly flatter. It's not as round, but it works up really well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we need to do is to make a slip knot. Leave about 12 inches or so of an end, and then go ahead and make a slip knot. To do that, just wrap the yarn around your fingers like so. Take your hook, go over or go under this strand here to the right, and then grab the strand on the left and pull it through, and then we pull it tight. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and chain 16. So there's our starting chain. If you want a bigger basket, you'll need to, of course, make more chains. Now, in the second hook in the second chain from the hook, you will want to put 3 half double crochets. So not this chain here, but this one. So this is the first one from the hook. This is the second from the hook. To make a half double crochet, we just yarn over. We're going to insert our hook. I just am going to be inserting it under just the top loop here. Insert hook. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Again. And that's the one we just worked into. So in the next one, or excuse me, in this one we're going to be doing 2 more. Sorry. So yarn over, insert hook. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through all 3, and then another. So we have 3 half double crochets in this first chain that we're working in, which is the second chain from the hook. So yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. So now we have 3 half double crochets in this one space. And then what we're going to do is do 1 half double crochet in the next stitches. So in the next 13 stitches, basically everything except the last chain stitch, okay? So again, you just yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera just so that way you don't have to sit and watch me do all of this, and I'll show you what to do when we get to the end of the row, or the end of the chains. I just finished up the 13th chain, or the 13th single half double crochet into a chain. And then in this last chain, we're actually going to do 6 half double crochets. So what I would recommend doing, because see how each has a different side, what I'd recommend doing is doing 3 into this, to the top loop, like so. So just do 3 here. You could just go ahead and do all 6 without changing it up. That's absolutely fine. It does make a little bit of a hole when you do that, which is the reason that I'm leaving, I had you leave the extra long tail, so that way you could sew that up. And then into the back loop here, or to the side loop, the other side loop, do another 3. My yarn is trying to pull on me. Okay, and then into the other loop of these stitches, we're going to do 1 half double crochet into each of those, except for the one at the very end. Okay, so you're going to be doing for the next 16 stitches, or the next 16 chains, another 1 half double crochet in each one. So you should have another 13 here in a second. I'll go ahead and do that and come back and show you how to finish up this this base here. I just finished up the 13th single half double crochet on this side of the base here, and then I'm just going to do 3 half double crochets into this last. You can do it into the chain space. I'm actually going to just work it into this loop right here. So whatever you want to do. If there are, if it does create a bit of a gap for you, and sometimes it does, when we weave in the ends here, you can use that to close it up. But it usually works itself out. So. All right. Now we're going to close this with a slip stitch, and we do that into the first half double crochet. You may have to kind of move it around a little bit to find where that is. It's easiest maybe if you just count back. So this is 1, 2, 3. So right here. Slip stitch. So the slip stitch is just to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the one on your hook as well. All right, and then we just, for round 2, now we can work in the round basically. Okay. We just chain 1. Then we're going to do 2 half double crochets into the first stitch, which is the same stitch that we did the slip stitch into. So right here. So yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and do the same thing again. Okay, now we have 2 there. We're going to do a single half double crochet in the next 17 stitches. I'm going to go ahead and do that and come back and show you what to do next. I just did the 17 one. So now the next stitch, we do 2 half double crochets. And in the next stitch, the same thing. So 2 half double crochets in the next stitch as well. And then in the next 17 stitches, we will do 1 half double crochet into each of those. I'll do that and then show you how to finish up. So I just did the 17th stitch, and in this last stitch here, this is not your last stitch, this is the base of the chain up. into this last stitch here, we do 2 half double crochets. And at this point you should have 42 stitches because we did basically 4 increases. And so to join this round, you will just slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet. And again, you know, with most of my patterns, like the chain up, the step up chain doesn't count. So we just go like that, and there we go. Now it is wanting to curl up like this, and you can work on it like this, but actually it's easier, I think, to work on it like that as it goes, just to keep going. There. Okay. Now for round 3, we will just be working even, so we're going to do a half double crochet in each stitch around. So starting with the first stitch, so we chain 1, and then we will work into the same stitch that we slip stitched into before. And then all of the way around, and I dropped that off the thing there. There we go. So yeah, just continue to work even around, and then when you get to the end, I will be back to show you how to finish it up. And remember, this right here is not a chain, or not a stitch that you work into. This is the base of your step up chain, so therefore we don't work into that. If you do, it's just going to add an extra stitch and make it make the shape different from what I had intended. So this will be your last stitch right here. It can be a little confusing, so I just wanted to point that out. All right, I'll come back when we're ready to join the round. I'm at the end of round 3, and I want to show you. So this is the last stitch that we work into, and then we will just slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet. Okay. And again, it does kind of want to curl up in a weird way, but once you get a few more rounds, it becomes a little easier. All right, so for round 4, we're going to chain 1, do 1 half double crochet into the same stitch, the first stitch, the one that we did the slip stitch into. So yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, all 3 there. And then we're going to do 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches as well. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. So in this stitch here, the 4th stitch in this round, do 2. And then in the next 16 stitches, we're going to do 1 half double crochet. I'll go ahead and do that and come back and show you what to do next. I just finished up 16 half double crochets. The next stitch, we do 2 half double crochets. And then in each remaining stitch till the end of the round, we're just going to do 1 half double crochet. And by the end of this, you should have 44 stitches. And I'll come back and show you what to do in the next round. We're at the end of the round, so go ahead and just join with a slip stitch into the first half double crochet. Chain 1, and then we're going to work even for round 5. So basically we just do 1 half double crochet in each stitch, including the first stitch, and you should have again 44 stitches for this round. And I'll come back and show you what to do in the next round. I just did the last stitch on round 5, so now we're just going to join with a slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet. Now for round 6, we are going to chain 1 and do 1 half double crochet in the first stitch and then the next 5 stitches, so for a total of 6. And in the next stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. My yarn is trying to come out here. And then for the next 15 stitches, we're going to work just 1 half double crochet. I'll go ahead and do that and come back. Now that I've done that 15th half double crochet, in the next stitch we're going to do 2 half double crochets into the same stitch, and then just 1 half double crochet in all of the remaining stitches around, and also in round 7. So we'll finish up this round, and then in round 7 we'll work even as well, just like we did in round 5. I will come back and show you what round 8 should look like. I just finished up round 7. There were 46 stitches, like there should be. And now for round 8, this is the last round that we're going to be doing increases on in the way that we've been doing them. So you're going to chain 1, and then do 1 half double crochet into the next, or to the first stitch, the one we did a slip stitch into to close, and in the next 8 stitches as well. So for a total of 9, just singles here. So now I've done 9 single half double crochets, and in the next stitch we're going to do 2 half double crochets. Okay, and then we're going to work evenly, so just 1 stitch into the next 14 stitches, and I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll come right back and show you what the next stitch is. I just did the 14th stitch, and in the next stitch we do 2 half double crochets, and then in the next stitch and the remaining stitches in this round we will be working evenly, so do 1. There should be a total of 48 stitches in this round. And then in rounds 9 through 17, we are just going to work evenly like we have on the other even rows, or the even rounds. And so I will go ahead and just do that. And so by now you should have down how to do half double crochets. So I won't do that on camera, but I will come back and show you what it looks like when I'm done with round 17, and show you how to start the handle. I just finished up round 17, and I have joined the round with a slip stitch. Now for round 18, we are basically starting the handle. And so what you do on that is you just chain 1, and then you do 1 half double crochet in all but the last 3 stitches. So you're going to do a total of 45 stitches. So starting here in the same one that I slip stitched in, and then around 4 until 3 stitches. So basically we're not going to work in this stitch here, or this stitch here. So this one will be the last one that I do, and that will be where the handle is. Now if you lay your basket flat and you think that's not centered, you can move it. If you move it this way, if you need to like make it more central over here, slip stitch over until where you want to start doing your half double crochets, like where you want the end of the opening to be. So maybe 1 or 2, if depending on what your basket looks like. I will go ahead and get over back over here, and then I'll show you what to do next. After you've done the 45th stitch here, and you have the 3 open here, this is what it should look like. And then you can check it if you want to make sure it's centered. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but you know, try to get it close. And then what we do now is we're just going to make the loop for the opening using chain stitches. So we're going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now you can check that and see if that's a big enough opening for you. If you want to, you can make it longer, shorter, whatever you want to do. Once you have the length of chain completed, go ahead and just do a slip stitch into the first half double crochet here to join. And there you go. Now you could just leave it like that, bind off and all of that, but we're going to do one more round, so round 19, and for this we're just going to do the same thing that we've done in most of our rounds. We're going to chain one and then we're going to work even. I will go ahead and work and show you what to do when you get to the chain stitch or the chain opening, okay? So I'll go ahead and do that and I will be back, and then I would start your half double crochet into the first one that we did just slip stitch into as well. But I will go ahead and come back and show you what to do at the very end. I've almost completed all of the working even part. I just wanted to show you where the last half double crochet is going to go when you're working even. So it goes right here, and we just do one there. And then in the chain space here, we're going to do 7 half double crochets into this space. If you made your chain a different length than I did, you may want to adjust that as well. All right, so we just go ahead and do 7 half double crochets. And you may it may feel like you're running out of room or something like that, but if it does, you can just slide them over, but usually it works out. Okay, and then you can adjust those like that, but then just to join it, we're going to do it in the first half double crochet that we did on this round. Join with a slip stitch, and then we will bind off. Here we have our finished basket. All we have to do is just weave in the ends now, and remember, and turn it inside out too. Remember, this is not the side we'll be using. This is the side that will face out. So when you weave in your ends, just do it on this side. Now remember, we had that one at the beginning to close that long one, to close the one on the circle, or to close that little opening that's there. Where's it at? That opening there. And also, I kind of like to reinforce this as well. Go ahead and I'll just show you how to do it real quick. Go ahead and thread your yarn, and then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and feed this back into the other side. You're going to want to make sure that you go into a space that's not going to undo this this starting slip knot. I'm probably just going to go right here next to there and just go in and pull it out with your other hand, and then we're going to turn it back the way we had it originally, and then weave in the ends. Now, if you have that gap like I do, and you should probably have a gap there, there's a smaller one here, which doesn't really bother me too much, but I will go ahead and tighten that up. And then there's this could you even see that? There's a smaller one here, and then this larger one there. So what I'll do to close that up is just to go ahead and we're going to just sort of go through these stitches. Be careful with this this yarn. If you're using a tapestry needle that has quite of a point on it, it's going to want to go into the structure. See, I just did it there. It's going to want to go into the structure of the actual yarn itself. And I mean, you can get it to go through there, but it does make it a little more of a pain. And then let's see, where did we go here? And then pull tight there. And then I'm going to go back through that. Maybe if I can get through there without splitting the stitch. I normally do all of this off camera, but I thought you guys might want to see it. Okay. Let's just go right here. Okay. Now most of this should not be seen from the outside, and also it's the bottom, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And then to weave in the ends, if you want, you could go ahead and just work into the stitch like you normally would. But I'm going to do that at the end, so I'm just going to make sure I get from here to there. And you could, you know, cut a new yarn or cut a new piece of yarn and do this too, but I'm just going to go through these stitches here just to work my way over. But if you wanted to add a little bit of strength and stability, you could, you know, reinforce the bottom or something like that. So just work your way over. I might go ahead and just do this off camera so that way you don't have to see all of this fun times. But we will work through. I normally would do a lot more stitches at a time, but where this wants to split with this sharp tapestry needle, I tend to minimize it. Okay, get out of my way. Fighting me on it. It's a little difficult to do looking at it at the angle that I'm currently looking at it at. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and just get over here and then I'll show you how we close up that larger gap, okay? Okay, so I've worked my way over here. Just make sure you stretch that out because we don't want to make it too tight. And then what I'm going to do is see my yarn is kind of coming from here. I'm going to work my way over to this side because this is a pretty substantial gap. So, and I split the stitch. There we go. And then for this one, I don't think that going around it and just cinching it is going to work. So we're just going to work it back and forth. So we go here, then go over here and pick up this. I apologize about the honking. I think my neighbor just came home. Okay, and then go back here. And then as you go, tighten it. So basically we are just seaming it up. So that way it will not open. Or not show open. When you get to the end, don't split the stitch like I just did. There we go. And then just make sure it's not too tight. And then just go ahead and, if you want to, you can knot it, but just go ahead and finish weaving in the ends like you normally would. I usually just sort of work my way down and then kind of double back up. That's usually what I do. So I will go ahead and do that. I just finished weaving in all of the ends, and now I'm just going to turn it right side out, or it's going to be our right side out. You could use it the other way too if you wanted to. Once we've turned it inside out, this is what the seam will look like after we've closed it. So it no longer has those big gaps right there. Okay, here is the basket all done, and actually it has some face wipes in there, like some face washcloths and things in there, and I love it. I've got it on a little S hook, but it's just so convenient. I really do love it. I'll show it to you from the side. And I did go ahead and hang up the one I made first when I was working out the pattern. This is the ivory one. It's in the ivory colorway, just so you can see. Yeah, I really do like these, and I hope you do too. I just wanted to give you a little look at what they look like all grouped together if you wanted to make the whole set. Yeah, I really like them. They're great for keeping items that you normally would have out, but you don't want just sort of laying around. I've obviously got some face cloths. These are some hand knit ones that I made. Wiping, cleansing cloths, eye makeup remover, things like that. And then some brushes and combs, just things that I do need every day, but I don't want just to have laying there. And also I think these look a lot nicer grouped together like this. Everything looks nice and clean and tidy. Obviously I'm using not the aqua one for this middle one, but that's just my personal preference for this particular bathroom. But yeah, you can, you know, change it up. You can make them in the same color, whatever you want to do. But I just wanted to go ahead and show those to you. If you are interested in getting the pattern as a set, not just the individual patterns, please go ahead and check out my Ravelry page. There will be links in the description bar, as well as on the website if you're looking at my website. So you know, as always, you can find the individual patterns for free on my website, but they're not downloadable, they're not PDF, and I did go ahead and put a PDF version up on Ravelry. So and there's a small charge just for the extra work on that. But I hope that you guys really like these. I absolutely adore them. These are perfect. I had this, you know, towel bar that I never used. I didn't have anything on it, and these are absolutely perfect for this space. So I hope that these work for you. Please let me know what you use them for, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.